जी, तो दोस्तों मैं हूँ कमर शीमा और दोस्तों जिस तरह कि आप देख रहे हैं मेरे साथ मौजूद हैं डॉक्टर अमित शाह। आप इंटीग्रेटिव फिजिशियन हैं और आप को-फाउंडर हैं अमेरिकन अलायंस फॉर पीस एंड प्रॉस्पेरिटी फॉर साउथ एशिया बेस्ड इन यूएस कैरोलिना में, नॉर्थ कैरोलिना में, एंड इट्स माय रियल प्लेजर टू हैव यू ऑन माय शो। थैंक यू वेरी मच डॉक्टर साहब फॉर योर टाइम।
Well, thank you very much, all viewers. I want to hope you well. Today, actually, my heart prayer goes to all the victims and their families and friends in Peshawar,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I really feel really very emotional about it. But I hope that the time and the support and help they get would help in recovering and healing. Uh, as you know, as a physician, my focus always is the healing part.
Yeah, that's good. So that's where I wanted to start with you, डॉक्टर साहब। ये बताइए हमें कि आप तो अमेरिका में हैं, बट यू कम फ्रॉम इंडिया एंड आपकी ऑब्वियसली आपने आपकी बड़ी जो है ना सेक्रीफाइसेस हैं। यू हैव सर्व्ड अ लॉट टू दिस कंट्री। व्हाट आर योर व्यूज बैक फॉर पाकिस्तान एंड इंडिया? पाकिस्तान और इंडिया को किस तरह देखते हैं? यू हैव सीन हाइज एंड लोज इन पाकिस्तान एंड इंडिया, एंड ऑब्वियसली आपको एक हिस्ट्री भी पता है और आप पर्सनली उससे गुजर के गए हैं और उन लोगों को मिले हुए हैं जो जो पाकिस्तान और भारत की हिस्ट्री को बहुत करीब से जो इस प्रोसेस से गुजरे हैं। आज आप कैसे देखते हैं चीज़ें? और दूसरा, देयर इज अ विंडो ऑफ होप के likely possibility बिलावल भुट्टो is going to India in May in Goa। बड़ा खूबसूरत शहर है, मेरा तो खुद बड़ा दिल करता है वहाँ जाने को। So how do you see we are moving forward? Are we moving forward in a good direction? Things will be better, or you are skeptical like many others?
I'm very optimistic and hopeful. First of all, I went to Pakistan in 1991 in Karachi, and I can tell you that. And then after 2 years, I went to US. I felt more safe and homely in Karachi than in the streets of Brooklyn. वो लोग जो है वो I mean, I felt very homely. Of course, I went to my friend's house, and of course, I went there for appearing for ECF MG exam, which is the entrance exam for US. But I had an excellent experience. I feel like that there are more commonness between India and Pakistan than the differences. And I feel that Pakistan has a lot of challenges, but has tremendous potentials. I know Pakistani physicians, and there is a lot of other talents in Pakistan which are equivalent to India. And what I mean by that, I know my colleagues, they are actually physicians from Pakistan. They are delivering equal quality care, and they have equal talent, knowledge, skills. So I know that there is enough talent, enough potentials uh, with the people of Pakistan. The issue is about the environment. I would feel like that India has been lucky that first 75 years has been reasonably stable from the government point of view, while Pakistan has faced a lot of challenges, ups and downs, um, instability, and therefore some of the what I call basic policy. And when I say basic policy, means education, health, science, those kind of qualities and those kind of quality education, which makes the difference in any nation's future. And I will tell you from healthcare point of view, this is how I connect healthcare actual data with the politics. So let me describe something which I have kind of coined an healthcare index called healthcare force. So healthcare force, which depends on life expectancy and infant mortality rate. So say, for example, currently in Pakistan and in India, we just compare these two nations' real healthcare data. So Pakistan's current life expectancy is about 66 years. The infant mortality rate is 59. Now, infant mortality rate means 59 children in
Out of
they die
1,000.
out of 1,000, they
Yeah.
die in the first year of their life.
Mm.
Okay, let's compare India. Life expectancy in India is 70, which is, 4-year difference. I would say not that much difference. However, the infant mortality rate in India is 27 versus 59 in Pakistan. So, according to my formula of healthcare force, life expectancy minus infant mortality rate means 70 minus 27 in India is about 43. Healthcare force index, what I call. And I will explain you what it means. Pakistan life expectancy is 66, infant mortality 59. Healthcare force index only 7. Now I want to tell you about Bangladesh. Bangladesh actually is doing better than even India. Life expectancy in Bangladesh 71.9, that almost 72. Infant mortality rate better than India 25.9, about 26, one better than India. So healthcare force index in Bangladesh is 46, India 43, Pakistan 7. You will be surprised. Afghanistan, life expectancy less than Pakistan, 62.5. But infant mortality rate also is lower in Afghanistan, which might surprise a lot of viewers, 48. Healthcare force index in Afghanistan is 14, 1-4. We just compare these 4 South Asian nations. The lowest is Pakistan at 7. Why? The reason I'm describing these objective data, and these objective data are from World Bank. So it's a neutral body. I checked in other data, they are more or less same data. So the data are correct. Healthcare force represents where the nation's resources are going. So if the nation's big resources are going into the infrastructure, healthcare facilities, hospitals, how mothers and pregnant women and the newborn child are taken care, what is the nutrition status, what is the hygienic status, all these things are counted. And therefore, with all this healthcare force, which, we talk about military force, we talk about financial force, but ultimately military force or financial force, but the most important force is how we take care of our people. At the end of the day, what is the goal of any government? We can talk about anything, GDP, military force, nuclear power, but the main goal of any government, regardless of wherever it is to increase the safety of their people and increase the health and well-being. So ultimately, the nations are judged how they take care of their own people. If we forget the politics, the religion, anything else, this is how, in my opinion, the nation's performance should be monitored. And the amazing thing is that Pakistan had a better healthcare outcome and better GDP exactly 50 years ago. 1971, if you check life expectancy, infant mortality rate, and GDP in Pakistan. Actually, GDP was better in Pakistan than India. So we have to ask ourselves, what did we do in last 50 years that resulted into more infant mortality rate? And if I have to make this very cruel statement or gross statement, that if India's infant mortality is 27, Pakistan is 59, that means in Pakistan, 32 children of a younger age per thousand are dying. And out of 1,000, now last year, Pakistan had more than 4 million births. That means last year, if you count that, close to 130,000 children, more children younger than age 1 died in Pakistan. Now, it is, in my opinion, it's, you can call it honor killing, you can call it pride killing, because Pakistan's resources, more resources are focused unduly, in my opinion, somewhere else. So what I call, this is called error of omission. By directing your resources to somewhere else, Pakistan is killing almost 130,000 young children. There is no difference in the talent of India and Pakistan. There is no reason why Pakistan should not have equal healthcare infrastructure like India. If Pakistan and India both can have a nuclear power, a scientific, if we consider that as a scientific excellence, there is no reason why Pakistan should not have equal healthcare infrastructure. Now I'm coming to India because India also has a problem. India is not doing as well as Bangladesh. In fact, within India, you'll be surprised, a state of Uttar Pradesh is doing worse than state of Kerala. Why? In the Hindi heartland, Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh, their infant mortality rate is around about 41, 44. If you go to Kerala, state of Kerala in South India, infant mortality rate is only 7, which is equivalent to in China and US. So think about how the state of Kerala is using their infrastructure or their resources. The reason is because in Hindi heartland, as we know, political situation, talking about religious intolerance, and that ultimately leads to distraction of the resources of the state. So I'm not critical about only Pakistan. I think in India also, India can do also much better. If the state of Kerala have only 7 young children die out of 1,000, why there are 44 children younger age should die in Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh? The politics and its trickle down effect is very obvious, that the religious intolerance leads to distraction of the resources. And ultimately, we as a physician, we see this trickle down effect when we meet those families, when we have to declare that this person is going to die because of so and so cause, which are actually preventable. Think about how much pain we would have. So I'm just trying to describe, these are the real healthcare data, and this is the objective discussion. Now, coming back to, again, India-Pakistan relationship, I think I'm optimistic. I'm very hopeful because there are good intention people on both sides. There is a good talent on both sides. There is understanding on both sides. And in my opinion, I think Pakistan has learned that by distracting a lot of resources, what happens to current economy. At the same token, India should not be what I call overconfident, because if we cannot manage and create a peaceful society within India, a lot of resources will can get distracted. So the actual facts are in front of us. There are always spoilers, which I call 5% spoiler on both sides. But the 95% of the people who wants to live normal, peaceful life, we should be then take more active role. And when I say that, my another golden political rule is that a passive or a silent good citizen is more dangerous than an action of an evil person. Why? Because when there is an action of an evil person, when the other people are silent, their silence is more dangerous. Therefore, in a current society, other people needs to speak out. It is the lack of action by a good citizen, lack of action or inaction of a good citizen is more dangerous than an action of an evil person. Like in Peshawar, whatever has happened, the inaction or silence of good citizen actually means that this is okay, this is justified. And wherever that happens, whether it happens in Uttar Pradesh, same thing. It's the silence and inaction of the good citizen, which are actually in majority. In fact, 90% of the people, in my opinion, wants to live a normal, peaceful life for themselves, for their families and friends. But it is their silence which is more dangerous. Coming back to that meeting, which is in India in May, I'm glad that Indian government has invited the foreign minister, Mr. Bhutto. I'm sure that they should also invite, and they may have already invited the prime minister. And I'm hoping that something can occur. There always will be spoilers on both sides. I also, in joke, I tell like this, that Kashmir is one of the biggest business for the elites of India and Pakistan, because the status quo in Kashmir actually is helpful, beneficial to the ruling elites. Uh, More in Pakistan, I should say, because primarily, Pakistani army also has gotten more benefits by keeping the Kashmir issue alive. We can talk about Kashmir, we can talk about partition, and whatnot. I'm more focused on the ultimate outcome and how do we go forward with this. But I'm hopeful that, with this meeting on the sideline, that some of the issues are discussed. At least I feel that the trade can really get re-established, because I think it is going to help Pakistan's economy. I think, I'm hoping that if we can put ego and pride and religious sentiment on the side, I think India and Pakistan can do great. In my opinion, if you think about it, India and Pakistan represents 1/5 of humanity. There is much more common than uncommon or division. And I think if we, India and Pakistan, can figure out something, this century can belong to South Asia. Look at
True,
Bangladesh.
true.
Bangladesh has done even better than India.
True, agree with you, Dr. Sab, ke 1/5 of the humanity, and we can do much, much more on this. One last quick question, and that is on a lighter note. You have absolutely, in a wonderful way, explained the health coverage और ये जो बेसिक इंडिकेटर होता है इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी एंड ऑल दैट, इसको आपने एक्सप्लेन किया है. लॉन्ग अगो आई यूज्ड टू रीड ऑन दोस कि ये क्या चीज़ें चलती हैं, इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी क्या है. यूएन ने, वर्ल्ड बैंक ने, बड़े लोगों ने इसके ऊपर रिपोर्टें की हैं. आपके पास सही है कि दैट्स वे जहाँ से इंसान पैदा होता है, बच्चा पैदा होता है, जहाँ से आगे बात चलनी है, बात तो वहीं से करनी चाहिए. और आपने बिल्कुल सही इंडिकेटर्स भी इस्टेब्लिश किया. यहाँ पे अमेरिका में रहते हुए आप कैसे देखते हैं, यहाँ पे भी पाकिस्तानी और इंडियंस ऐसे ही लड़ते हैं जैसे बॉर्डर पे लड़ रहे हैं, या कि वो सिर्फ आप समझते हैं कि ये टीवी और स्क्रीन की बातें हैं, बाकी तो लोग तो बड़े नॉर्मल हैं, यहाँ पे भी वो एक थोड़ी बहुत रखन एक रखता है आपको. हाउ डू यू सी दिस सिंस यू हैव लिव्ड हियर फॉर डेकेड्स हियर?
That's a nice question. I'll tell you one example. When I was in training in Connecticut, we had resident doctors from Pakistan. We had resident doctor from Punjab side or Indian side of Punjab. We had resident doctor from South India. And you will be amazed that I can actually literally spend a full evening with somebody from Pakistan, watch a movie together. We can go to a restaurant and eat together, which I may not be able to do with somebody from Tamil Nadu because the language is different. So, what I'm trying to say is that by and large, on the ground here, the Indian Pakistani community is actually living in a very nice way. In fact, our own kids, my son, two sons who are one of them born and raised here, really actually they consider South Asian Americans as a one entity. It's a very different ball game here actually. And ये काफी जो है वो हाइपर प्रोजेक्टेड हाइपरबॉली जो है काफी टीवीज में है, न्यूज़पेपर में है. And because the culture is same and there is so much common that, as I said, like Dr. Zafar Iqbal, my friend from Karachi, is practicing in just south of Las Vegas. I have Pakistani physician colleagues in my own hospital. We laugh together, we watch movie together. Our kids are intermingling together. In fact, our kids are laughing at us that it is we who are carrying more baggages. Because they are born and raised here, they don't have those old baggages, frankly speaking. So I think a lot of things are local to local Indian and Pakistani politics. And Kashmir has given a lot of, I would say, tools to the local politicians in Pakistan and Pakistani army. In fact, I would say the rise of BJP in India, mainly two reasons. One is naturally the, corruption, failure, and family-driven Congress party issues. But the other issue is that I think whatever Pakistan has done in Kashmir has helped rise of BJP. These are the local politics, in fact. In fact, they are feeding into each other, in my opinion. You see
बिल्कुल
what I'm saying?
सही.
So that is why I feel like that basic focus on health, education, science, music, art, the normal life is what we need to focus on. But I must say that the common citizen has to speak out. If they don't speak out, the 5% will ruin South Asia.
बड़ी खूबसूरत बात की आपने डॉक्टर साहब के एट द एंड ऑफ द डे एंड दैट इज़ अ पंच लाइन द कॉमन सिटीजन नीड टू कम अप एंड दे नीड टू टेक ओवर थिंग्स अदरवाइज 5% एलीट जो है वो चीज़ें ख़राब कर देगी एंड आई एग्री विद यू ऑन दैट ऑन दिस नोट कि चीज़ें बेहतर हों हालात ठीक हों और दोनों ममालिक जो हैं वो अपनी हेल्थ कवरेज पे पैसा लगाएं हेल्थ पे पैसा लगाएं और अपने बच्चे ना मारें और एनिमोसिटी से बाहर निकलें और वी कैन डू वंडर्स एंड आई एग्री विद यू एब्सोल्युटली देयर इज सो मच कॉमन और आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि यू कैन मे बी सिंस यू आर फ्रॉम द नॉर्थ ऑफ द इंडिया सो यू कैन लिव so much easily with the Pakistani rather than a person from the Tamil Nadu because of different culture or language or that's a barrier as obviously. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Amit Shah. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for invitation.